losing my dad at such a young age, being a junior, has always kind of been this burden of like, who am I? Like, what can I do? What are my capacities when I'm on? Hey y'all. So this is future me editing this video and realizing that I did a little tangent that is very on theme for the video, but I didn't really explain it in the beginning. And so I want to make sure that everyone stays until the end to really see how the Brompton has essentially changed my life. It has helped me embrace parts of myself that I hadn't been willing to embrace before. And I think that it's so important into this follow-up video and why my Brompton is so essential in my life. So please stay into the video to the end. I'm not going to cut and copy and paste it at the beginning for a hook. I just want you to stick around and hear a little bit more on why the Brompton is one of the most essential pieces in my everyday life. So today I want to do a follow-up video to a video I did quite a while ago about my A-Line Brompton. I think that video has helped people hopefully make better decisions on the Brompton that they decide to go on with, but for me, I have had somewhat of a change of heart, so let's talk about it. So fun story, when we moved into this house in Charlotte from Richmond, the day that we got the keys, so that morning I'm waiting for my wife here with the move-in truck, and before she pulls in, I see her like turn the corner, but as I'm seeing her turn the corner, a Brompton comes by, and I watch him get to the grocery store, gets off his bike and rolls it into the grocery store, and I'm like, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Since moving back to Charlotte, North Carolina, a relatively flat city compared to Richmond, Virginia, I have been seeing myself use my Brompton like never before. When I lived in Charlotte before, I didn't have my Brompton. Coming back to Charlotte and being able to utilize some of the multi-use paths, the rail trail, our greenway system, it has really opened up getting around the city. In conjunction to being walking distance or bike distance from a rail system has really opened up things as far as getting to where I need to go fast and without a sweat. One of the gripes that I had about the Brompton A-Line was that I thought, hey, I'll have what I need out of 3 and I can get around sufficiently. However, one of the things I talked about in that video is that, you know, when we invest in something like a Brompton, you want to make sure that it's compatible to your lifestyle and where you live, right? And how you use it as a lifestyle product or in your urban commuting. And so for me, I was using it more leisurely in Richmond because my bus came every hour and it was very hilly terrain. As we moved closer to the city and we were able to live right off of a greenway system, I started to see myself use it more, but it still was quite recreational, or maybe using it in conjunction with our bus rapid transit line, which ran every 10 to 15 minutes, so I could still get around the city. However, now being on a light rail system and being able to get into Uptown in I think 3 or 4 stops, I have reached for my Brompton from everything to coffee, to meetings, to city hall meetings. I've used my Brompton more, definitely more than a car. I also have a station wagon that I use, and ultimately I would love to, you know, when camping, have something a little bit more rugged, if you will. And my eyes have been on the G line, but I think it's still out of my price point for a while, at least until we get a few more iterations or we see the used market get flooded with some, you know, units. But overall, I have not done any upgrades to the A-Line outside of my tea bag, and it does the job. It works for how I need it to work, and I really couldn't be happier. I think that's the beauty of an investment, right? It grows with us and we're able to use it in the way that the season allows it to be. And so in the current season, I'm able to use it to get around, to pick up food, to pick up beer. Y'all, I've really used my Brompton. I'll show some pictures, but I've used my Brompton in so many scenarios, and I always have it right with me, and I always try to capture the moment. And yeah, it's not a bad investment after all. Now, I will say something that I want to end with is how the Brompton was a gateway to, I guess you can say, counterculture. Coming further south here in Charlotte, North Carolina, urban bike commuting is still somewhat kind of looked at in a different light. It's very unfortunate, but people are always surprised when I say this is how I arrived. And you don't need a Brompton to bike commute, but something about the folding mechanism really draws people to it. And I've found with Counterculture, there are people who want to experience a different lifestyle than what the majority is experiencing, but they're struggling with getting over that first hurdle, that first fear of like, what if someone looks at me oddly? And the Brompton was the thing that helped me get over that hurdle to say, like, it was unique enough where it still got the job done, but it sparked curiosity and conversations. And the cult following, or the community that has been built around the Brompton, has really made me feel protected. Feel the very same way about my Volvo station wagon. Again, the community there, people get it, they understand, they help, they're just welcoming you with open arms. And so the Brompton was this like gateway to that counterculture life, where it was completely fine to be counterculture in a way that was positive, not a way that was like hipsterish. I think people have been so hung up on, if something does not work on your lifestyle, that you have the right to change it. For me, like, I'm finding myself not on phone calls as much as I would like to, and kind of falling in the trap of group chats in the terms of building community. And so I am drawing for a dumb phone to kind of force myself and force others to call me. I don't want to text you. If it's not a, hey, I'm on the way type thing, I don't want to have in-depth conversations about life through text. That's just not what I long for. And so going to get a dumb phone, and I've already went prepaid. I'm not a postpaid subscriber to my cell phone company. I pay $40 a month through Mint Mobile. Like, I've really went against the grain because paying $120 a month was not what I wanted to do, and it didn't fit for my lifestyle. And you start getting this like cult talk when you start to do something that someone your age, or the majority, isn't doing. And so the Brompton helped me embrace this part of myself that I have always felt kind of by myself. I've always felt kind of a loner in some of my interests, whether it's anti-consumerism or frugality or minimalism. Like, the lifestyle that I want for myself has always kind of been a running joke in some of my circles, but I'm starting to be okay with that. I'm completely fine. It fits my lifestyle. And there's things that we have in common, but there's also a lot that we don't. And I'm also trying to embrace that. Hopefully that attracts new people into my life, and being more open to be in certain Discord channels or having conversations with people who have similar interests in this point in my life. And it all started with the Brompton. And so this is really a two-part video of like explaining where I'm using the Brompton now, kind of what it really ignited in me, but then also like this newfound theme in my life of self-discovery. And I have been in this place of finding and discovery and being okay with being different, and like truly enjoying the hobbies and interests that I like. Like, people don't understand why I split wood, and I've tried to explain it. And I get some, oh, I get it, I understand it now, as far as like collecting free firewood, or finding free furniture, and upcycling it in ways that are useful in my life. But those themes are why I've renamed the channel, because I realized that it's bigger than a Brompton. Like, my whole being has been about making things work for me and finding out more about myself. I've shared about, most of my life has been discovery. Losing my dad at such a young age, being a junior, has always kind of been this burden of like, who am I? Like, what can I do? What are my capacity? What are some of my abilities? And like, urban bike commuting has been something that has unlocked my fear of getting around. Like, I feel so much at ease when I'm on the bike. I wasn't always that way, but I'm probably one of the only members of both sides of my family who bike this way. But I'm happy that I'm exposing my kids to another means of getting around, which means that generations after me are going to have exposure to those things. And so that's really what it's about. It's about finding me and sharing it in hopes that someone else builds that courage to do the same. And again, if you think this type of content is cool, subscribe below and share this with someone that you think will get, you know, value out of it. But yeah, once a week you'll get a video in regards to these themes of finding new hobbies, or finding something and using it to the best of my ability, or finding urban solutions for cities, like how can we navigate around them safely, or how can we build better cities. So the art of finding has been this theme that I've fallen down, and I'm completely okay with being down here. And so thank you for subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you in the comment section. Peace.